Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're joining me this evening. I am Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm thrilled to have you here. We are working on the Traditions of Christmas suite, and it is just a blessing and a wonder, and I love it, love it, love it. It is gorgeous. This is some of the designer series paper that's in there, and this is the 7th card we've done a video for today. So thanks to my helper, Jan Spencer, who is a team member, and she did a wonderful job helping me today and had to run home, and she had some dogs counting on her. So you don't get to see her smiling face, but I am trying to do this last video so that anybody who bought this kit, the class to go, will have all the instructions. And then also, if you're interested in getting a PDF for all 7 cards, the link is in the video below that goes to a Google form that tells you a couple of options of how to do that. So I would love to have you comment whenever you come on board. I'm going to show you how this card actually works. Look at that. It's a pillar card. Look, how cool is that? Yay. We had a lot of fun with this one. This one actually was done in a previous class that was also with the Jolly Holly bundle, but I wanted to include it with the Traditions of Christmas because of the paper, of course. It's part of that suite. So we're going to switch the camera down and get going on this. So glad you joined. We'll switch that over. There we go. Okay. This is the last card in our series so far. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to be making others with this. I've got a Halloween class coming up and a fall class coming up and all kinds of stuff. So we will just see. I don't know if I don't think I did bring my little sheet of paper in here that has all of the measurements to this and everything. So we will just have to wing it. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored, I believe it's at 3/4. And I don't know what these two are. I will have to measure it for you. Let me check. I forgot my little sheet in there. So we have 3/4 inch, 1 3/4, 3 and 4 1/4. So 3/4 of an inch, 1 3/4, 3 and 4 1/4. That's where that's scored. And what we're going to do is go ahead and use our bone folder to make those crisp folds. Burnish those really well with the bone folder, and I flip it over and do both sides always. I think that helps make a flatter card. And we'll do that on all of them. Hope y'all are doing all right this evening. How many of y'all have finished your Christmas cards? Are y'all doing them already? We started classes actually in July, so our crew wanted to get Christmas cards done earlier this year. We were determined to do so. So I have done July, August, September. I've already done 3 classes, 3 Christmas card classes, and more to come. So besides my Halloween, like I said, that's coming up in fall and all kinds of goodies. Stampin' Up! Just came out with a new kit that is just darling. That has nutcrackers on it, little gift tags. And they also have a calm and bright little card kit in our kit collection. That's a lot of fun. So lots of things going on. I also wanted to tell you while I'm folding this, I'll show you Stampin' Up! Also has a special going right now on the starter kits. This is incredible. It's actually, you get for $35, you get $125 worth of product. If you sign up to be on my Create with Kelley team, which I would love. We have a wonderful group of paper crafters here who are very supportive of other team members and helping out. So you've got a couple of choices. You can do the regular $99 that we usually pay for a starter kit, but you get $189 worth of products for $99. It's just incredible. Is that not amazing? I would join for sure if I wasn't already a demonstrator. But if any of you are curious about that and want to know more, let me know. And then also, if you're interested in the PDF for this that has all the measurements for all the cards, Let me know about that too, or any of the products. The products are actually linked on the YouTube video right below it. And Facebook won't let me link all those products. So you'll just have to, if you're watching on Facebook, you'll have to go to my YouTube channel to get that info if you want it. Okay, I have used our tear and tape just on this one little sliver here. That's the 3/4 inch side. And we're going to make the pillar here. Let me close this off. So let me show you one real quick here. This is that's kind of all the cards that we've made in this suite so far. That's like the 7 cards right there, just as a teaser, so I can get you maybe to watch some other videos. And we'll go back to where we were. If I can, let's see. This is a new thing. There we go. They kind of have changed things around on StreamYard, so I'm playing. Okay. Now we've got, let's go back to this camera. And I've got the tear and tape. We're just going to take that off. And well, first, if you haven't done one of these pillar cards before, it really is pretty easy, but you have to think about where this is going to stick. So I haven't pulled the backing off, so it's not sticky yet. So I'm thinking that it goes like this, where you've got 2 sections here with a score in the middle. And then this would be taped flat right there. Okay. So I'm going to test that theory, and I'm going to hold on to this as if it were taped. I'm going to hold on to that as if it were taped and push that up. Is that what I want? Yes, indeed it is. So I know that's correct, that I want to leave these 2 sections up. So what we're going to do is take this backing off. Easier said than done, right? Then I'm going to fold that flat, and I'm going to go just like that with those 2 sections, because I know that this is still 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is what fits in an envelope. So I'm going to make sure that is glued down properly, and we'll do it again here. And look at that. There's our pillar. The base of the card is already done. How awesome is that? All right. Please comment when you come on. Let me know you're watching. I'd love to know who you are and where you're from and all the deets. I will show you what's next here. We can go ahead, and I'm going to use my silicone mat here to keep from getting glue all over my work surface. And I'm going to take these 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. This is one of the papers in the pack. Here's the other side. But I can't imagine covering up this gold foil, but it does have some pretty back sides too. But to me, this is the A side. Okay, and this is going to be just like that one. Those 2 are together. And then I don't have one on the inside, just to break up the design a little bit from the busy design that we're going to have over here. So you can glue this on with your Stampin' Seal or your liquid glue, whichever adhesive you prefer. If I can get my glue going here. And then this should have a pretty even border all the way around. Just glue that down flat. Then we're going to take the next one that we've carefully kept together, because this is a pattern that matches. See, there's the rest of that flower. It's just going to continue over the score. Now, this one has an even border also. Just lay that in there, and with the liquid glue, you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit to get it where you need it to be. All right, now we've got an inside of the card. I decided I wanted to have some room to write, so I'm going to flip this up like that. So we're going to make sure this is exactly the right size, or it's trimmable. Yep, believe it is. So we're going to glue that on the front. And you just have to decide, do you like it this way or do you like it this way? I think I will like it with the bigger flowers at the bottom. They seem heavier, so that works for me. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. A couple of videos back earlier, I really got choked and whew, had to have some water quickly. Okay, and this piece, and I'm sorry I don't have all those measurements right here. I just forgot to bring that sheet in. Okay, I think that's pretty close. And I just have a little bit hanging off the end right here. So you always flip it over to the back if you've got some hanging off, and just put your scissors in here right up next to the end of the cardstock. Okay, now we're going to get the bone folder again and make sure that is really straight. And I left a little bit of white down here just so that it is obvious that opens. You wouldn't have to. You could leave it the same if you wanted. I think this is 2 5/8 by 10.5, scored at 5 1/4. And then I just cut a sliver off about 1/8 of an inch. And I should have done this first. That is a tip. You always want to stamp first before you start gluing DSP on. And DSP is designer series paper, or double-sided paper if you prefer, or either one works. That's kind of what it stands for, both. So all right, we're gonna move this over, and I'm just gonna stamp this at the top. May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness. And I didn't cut a little piece of paper for the bottom of that, but I kind of like the way this one has that designer series paper, but maybe we'll have something extra we're going to put there. All right. And we're using a different stamp set. This stamp set is from Words for the Season. I wanted to show you a little bit of variety. The first card that I did, this one has the front and the little poinsettias, and the inside are all from the Jolly Holly bundle, which is also awesome. But if you don't have that, I wanted to show you a little something different that you could use. Okay, so we've got that stamping done. So that is ready to glue onto the inside of the card. We'll go ahead and glue that really quickly. Just glue the back. And I just glue usually around the edges and squiggle a little in the middle. I know everybody kind of has their own technique for that. And this should have an even border all the way around, or a little kind of, it's really a little more, top, bottom, and right are about the same. I cut it a little shorter over here. On this side, it has a little bit wider border because I wanted to make sure that it would open with this arch like that. But on this card, I'm going to move the arch over to the left anyway, so it's really not going to matter. Okay, so we have our little fold up where we can write our little message. And then I may come back and add something to the bottom of that. But first, we're going to work on this arch. The everyday, this is from the Everyday Arches bundle, or dies. It's actually just the dies. You get wonderful nesting dies that can be used as arches. They can be used as labels. They can be used in so many different ways. I highly recommend, even if you don't get the stamp set, to get the dies. Love it. So we're going to stick with we're going to stamp some flowers that are from this Christmas greenery set. That kind of is what the DSP has, a lot of these in it that can be cut out. And then we're also going to stamp, I may not have brought that in. I'm missing the other set too. I didn't get everything together. But It's from the Traditional Labels bundle, I think, or it might be Words. Yeah, I think it's Traditional Labels bundle. We're gonna do Merry Wishes, and then in the middle of that, I kind of arranged it where the and bright would go in the middle. You'll see. I'm going to do it in red. I'm doing this in Secret C, and I'm going to leave a little place at the bottom because I'm going to put some flowers. There's the Merry Wishes in Secret C. And then we'll go with our and bright in the real red. Kind of trying to arrange this where you can see everything. There's a lot going on over here. Y'all let me know if you have any questions or if you're interested in any of the products that I'm using. Those should be in the list, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Okay, so I'm just centering this and bright in the middle. So I have Merry and Bright Wishes on the front. So it's a little more casual look than the other one. Okay, I think that's all we need of it. Let's go ahead and stamp a flower on the inside while we're at it. We're going to stamp one of these flowers in red. And this is from that the other bundle in the set, in the Traditions of Christmas suite. Woo, that's dark. I inked that real red really well, didn't I? That's dark. It will dry a little bit lighter. And then we're going to put a little Secret C center to the flower. That's also from that same stamp set. How cute is that? Just simple, but pretty. And you could add some leaves if you wanted. If y'all want me to, I could add want me to put some pool party leaves in there? Let me know. I kind of like it is. Well, let's see once we get the front done what we think. And I will try to come back and read the comments even on after, if y'all see it on the replay and are not watching live. I'm going to pop this up, the Merry and Bright Wishes. They're going to be on this little arch. And it can be, just as long as it doesn't hang over, when it folds flat like this, it'll go in the envelope. So it can actually hang over this pillar if you want it to. And that's what we're going to do. So then they can open it up and let the pillar sit out. But then they couldn't open their little greeting at the same time. So I'm still going to put it over there a little bit. We don't need that. We're just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Alrighty. Whoop. Don't drop it, Kelley. So there we have Merry and Bright Wishes. And now we're going to, since I've already shown you how to stamp that flower in centers, I'm just going to go ahead. There are dies in this set also, but we're just going to play with a couple of these flowers. And we're doing this instead of doing the poinsettias that are in the Holly Jolly set. We're going to try these flowers that come in that. Let's just see where my catalog is. let's just look real quick and see what the name of that set is. So, you know, it's the main one. There's two different bundles. This is a mega suite. It has the traditional labels. Yeah, that is, I was right. So you can cut out labels with the dies, but then you have all these great greetings here. And then Christmas Greenery is the one I'm using now. But both of those bundles are part of this suite. And if you're interested in seeing more, I've got 6 other videos you can watch. Okay. Oh, I was going to tie some ribbon around there and forgot. Okay, so we're still going to do that. We're going to take a little bit. Let's see if we want a wide ribbon. I think that we have a trim pack, and that's what I used on the first one. I think that might be easier to use. I'm going to see if I can just tell you what trick I'm going to try is adding a glue dot. Well, I may just tie this. I'm gonna see if I can run it through here. Normally, I would say before you attach the white arch to the blue one, you'd fold this onto the back, cut it and fold it. But I'm just going to tie it in a little knot. We're going to see if we can fish it through there and tie a little knot. And this trim, like I said, it comes in a pack with a roll of silver and a roll of gold that are both really pretty. Just going to tie a little knot really quickly, and we're going to make that work. Even though I rushed and forgot to do what I was supposed to do. Let's cut the ribbon a little. You may need to cut it a little bit more. We'll see once we get the flowers on. Ooh, it's not wanting to move now. It's already stuck on my dimensionals. So there we go. I got it to shift a little. We're going to make that a little bit smaller. We got a lot of glitter going on with all this gold foil in that paper. Is that paper just not gorgeous? I just love it. This is, I think, my favorite sheet. Love it. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with these flowers. I was thinking we would pop one up like this, and I may need to stick a little glue dot under this ribbon to hold it once I get to that, or I may just put a dimensional there. I was thinking we would put 2 little flowers like this over here. I think that could go a little further if I can make it do it. See if I can shift it a little more. Huh. Yep, I did. Okay, we're going to put a dimensional on the back of that. And then we're going to put one on the back of this. That's kind of like a side view or folded over flower. Thank you for the heart for whoever's given me that. I don't know who's watching. I can't tell, but I'm glad you are. Glad you like the card. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll be happy to help. I think I want this over that. Now, this is going to be the little arch. That'll be right here. Isn't that cute? So it's kind of a totally different feel than this one, because this one has embossing. Can you see the gold shiny? These are from the Jolly Holly, as is this, and they're embossed in gold and then filled in with red with the blends. But this one, we just have a really cheery Merry and Bright Wishes. And we're going to use a little Wink of Stella on there, and that'll be that. We're going to glue that. Yeah, we're just going to glue that flat. Probably going to glue, I think I'm just going to glue right in here where I know that'll hold the majority of it and I won't run out of space there. Does that make sense? I hope. Let's see. We're going to do it hanging over just a little bit. Let that have a minute. Try to get that straight. That's one thing about the wonderful liquid glue is it lets you have that little bit of room there. Change that up. It's hard for you to see it standing, but there it is. And there's this card with the arch even with the pillar, and this one has it hanging over a bit. I'm going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella here, which is our glitter pen. That's just awesome, and it makes up for the fact that those are not embossed like the other ones, maybe. Whoops, and it's still wet, so when you do this, don't go outside the line like I did. It may bleed a little bit. And then we're going to wipe this off. Because it's got a little pink on it. Y'all can tell probably by that. All right. Let's see where my silicone mat is. I'm going to squeeze a little more when you have a Wink of Stella and you're squeezing it to get a little more in the barrel there. You push on both sides where it says push and try to squeeze a little bit more out. I'm going to put some Wink on this little line right here to kind of jazz that up a little. Give it a little sparkle. Because who doesn't need a little glimmer and sparkle in their lives, right? I'm going to do the right around the edge on the blue too. And you don't have to be exact. It's just a little glimmer. It's not, it doesn't flake off like glitter, but it still kind of has that sparkly effect like glitter does. And this is just about to run out. I've had this Wink of Stella for a while, so. But what do you think? Do you like that? I think it's cute. I like both of them. Which one do y'all like the best? Whoever's watching. Do you like the embossed or the bright? Everything else is about the same except for the inside. I mean, for the arch. And then this has this little flower inside. We better use some Wink on that too. Got to make them similar. I'm trying not to go on the edges where it would bleed. And then if we want to, we can put a little embellishment right there in the center, or we can leave it like it is. We can add some little embellishments around here. Let's see what we think. Otherwise, we can be done. Let's see if we want. I think we kind of have enough color. I don't know that we want to throw in the light blue or the green. I think the green's going to be just too bright. It is for me anyway. And there is some of the pool party blue in there in the paper over here. I'm not sure if I like that or not. What do y'all think of that? Do you like it? Or do you want to do without the embellishment? That's a bit much. Kind of covers up our cute little center that we stamped. I think you could kind of do without the embellishments. But y'all let me know what you think. I think I'm going to do without them. I think we've got enough sparkle with the ribbon, and there's just not enough blue for me elsewhere to tie that in. So I think I'm going to call it good. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for your comments, and I will hold one of these up, come back to say goodbye. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you supporting my small business. Here's one of the cards, and here's the one we made tonight. Whoop. Let's cross hands. Make it difficult. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions or need any products, I'm here to help. I can also get you a mini catalog if you need one. Just let me know. You can put it in the comments, even in the replay, and I'll check them. All right. Have a great evening and week. I will see you soon, and fun times ahead. Thanks. Bye-bye.